So A times C is 15. So I need two numbers that multiply to 15 and add to -8. So can you take some time at your table or on your calculator and ponder that, please? Diane, what are the two numbers? -5 and -3. If you're multiplying to a positive and adding to a negative, you do have to have two negatives. So then remember from last week, we do first term the same, last term the same, replace the middle with -5x, -3x. And you can, do you remember what to do next? Split it, and then you take the GCF of each half. So now looking at the left side, the only thing this can divide by is 1, but what else do they have in common? X. So you always take out a variable from the first half, so x. And if I divide by x, then, or factor out the x, I would be left with x times x is x squared, and x times -5 is -5x. Okay, repeat that for your right side. What is the greatest common factor of the right? It is 3, but what would we want to take out? -3. Because it's a -3x, you do want to do -3. -3. And then in parentheses, we divide by that and see what we have left. So it should be, yes, x minus 5. Those match, so huzzah, you did it right. Put your GCFs together. It's x minus 3. Your other parentheses is the one that is the same, so x minus 5. Okay. We'll start to look at number 6 before we go. Number 6 is fun because you only have two terms. Remember, we're looking for A, B, and C. What do we have right now? A and C. Okay, so this is A and C. That is a weird A, sorry. Let's fix that. A and C, which means that what's B then?
0?
It is 0. So you could actually rewrite this expression as 9x squared plus, there are 0 x's here, which is why you don't see them, minus 4. So then, yes, this is your A, B, and C. So you multiply A times C and get -36. You're trying to find two numbers that multiply to -36 and add up to what? 0. So my two numbers would be -6 and +6 because they multiply to -36 and add to 0. So remember, now you keep the first term the same, you keep the last term the same, and you replace what's in the middle with -6x and +6x. And let's now split it and find the GCF. So 1/2 at a time. We need the GCF of this side. What can both 9 and 6 divide by? 3. And then you also have an x on that side, so we'll take out 3x. So dividing both terms by 3x. If you divide that out, 3x times 3x is 9x squared, or you can do the division. If I do -6x divided by 3x, I am left with -2. Okay, and then your right side, what about 6 and 4? They divide by 2. You cannot take an x out of this side. That will pretty much always be the case. You'll be able to take a variable from the first half, but not the second. So if I divide by 2, then I would have 3x minus 2, and yay, they match, which means that we're on the right track. Put these GCFs together and get 3x plus 2. Your matching parentheses is 3x minus 2. So number 6 is special. Number 6 is an example of difference of squares. If you recognize this pattern, you can take a shortcut. this is pretty important. A squared minus b squared is equal to a plus b, a minus b. And we'll go back and look at number 6, and I'll show you why this works. So you see on our answer on number 6, it was 3x plus 2, 3x minus 2. Obviously, it's like 3x and 2 on both of them. That's not a coincidence. That happens because it's a difference of perfect squares. So we're going to look back at number 6 here. On number 6, you don't need to rewrite. We're not going to do the whole problem again. But the reason why it becomes 3x plus 2 and 3x minus 2 is because 9 is a perfect square. What's the square root of 9? 3. And so you can actually write this as 3x squared. 4 is also a perfect square. What's the square root of 4? 2. So it's also could be written as 2 squared. So you see it becomes 3x squared minus 2 squared, which is why it's then 3x plus 2, 3x minus 2. Because you're trying to find numbers, it has to be one positive, one negative, because you're adding to the 0 in the middle. Okay, this is an example of difference of squares. Wow, stop. Okay. Again, remember you have your a and your c. But this would be rewritten as x squared, which I know that's the same. It's 1x squared. And then 16 is a perfect square. What's the square root of 16? 4. So you can rewrite it as 4 squared. We'll do difference of squares and do the shortcut in a second, but I want you to understand why this makes sense. What you have here is your a and your c, which means that your b is 0. So your two numbers that multiply to negative 16 and add to 0. What are my two numbers that multiply to negative 16 and add to 0? You just talked about. It's kind of like last one. Negative 4 and positive 4. So 4 times negative 4 is negative 16. 4 plus negative 4 is 0. So we're using the square root of 16. And that means it factors directly into x plus 4, x minus 4. Because it's a difference of squares. You just take those two things. Hopefully you can see it. It's coming from this right here. You have to have one positive, one negative because they are adding to 0. Is 9 a perfect square? Yes. Is 49 a perfect square? Yes. Okay, so that means that we're going to do difference of squares. We would want to rewrite it as the square root of 9 is what? 3. So this is really 3x squared. And what's the square root of 49? 7. So 7 squared. So 3x squared minus 7 squared is really what this is. You could do a times c. The numbers here end up being pretty big. And so that's why we want to maybe avoid it, is because then we're avoiding when the numbers start to get pretty large. If it's perfect squares, you can do it this way. So that means that it factors right into 3x plus 7, 3x minus 7. You take those two things and you put them in your factors. One of them is added, one of them is subtracted. You need to be careful because just because you have perfect squares doesn't mean that it always works. Look at number 9. There's something different about number 9. 4 is a perfect square. 25 is a perfect square. So you would think it would be 2x plus 5, 2x minus 5, but what's the problem? It's addition. Okay, so this is a big deal. Look back at number 7 and 8. 7 and 8 both have, I'll highlight it, subtraction. Again, up here, it's subtraction. So this only works with subtraction. If you want to add a note to this box here. Only works with subtraction, which is why it's called difference of squares, because difference means subtract. So if you see addition, it's not going to work, and I will show you why. On number 9, if you try and multiply your a times your c and like do this normally, yeah, a times c here, because we have a and c already and b is 0. A times c is positive 100, if I could write that quickly. So you're finding two numbers that multiply to positive 100 and add up to 0. You don't have a ton of options. If you did positive 10 times positive 10, it would get me, if I add those up, it could be positive 20. Would negative 10 work? No, because that gets you negative 20. So you're like left wondering what would even work here. And the answer is nothing. Yeah, you tried like 50 and 2. There's no combination here that works. So we call it prime. This is real important. You need to understand that just because you have perfect squares does not mean it automatically works. It has to have subtraction. And because it has addition, it doesn't work. So star it, do something so you understand that when you see this example, you can tell me it's prime or something like it. On number 5, where did these two numbers come from? This negative 3 and negative 5, where else do you see them? Your little X. Yeah, your X box. That's not a coincidence. The reason this happens is because A is 1. It actually, you can go right from the X box to your final factored form when A is 1. So it's a shortcut. Yay. So this is an example of A is 1. Although we did it the long way, right? So it's fine if you want to do it the long way. It just takes more time. At the beginning, you would want to do that because then it makes your number smaller and more manageable. And we like that. So on number 10, for example, you have 2, 6, and 108. What can all those numbers divide by? 2. So you would want to go ahead and divide by 2. And as soon as you do that, because technically you're not allowed to do this to an expression, you can only do that to an equation, but I think it's the best way to show it. As soon as you do that, you need to remember that you have to add the 2 back in at the end. So your final answer needs to look like this, 2, and then you will have parentheses, whether it's 1 parentheses or 2, we're going to find out. But this is like your final answer at the bottom of the problem, put 2 and a start of a parentheses so you know something's going to happen here. Okay, but for now we're going to go ahead and divide out the 2, which would give me x squared plus 3x minus 54. The numbers are looking much better now, much smaller. You have we're going to factor this, a, b, c. You want two numbers that multiply to negative 54 and add to 3, because now we're dealing with the one that we've our new one after we've divided out of 2. Okay, so can you ponder that with your table? What are those numbers? 9 times 6 is 54. Which one should be negative? It's 6, because we're trying to get to a positive 3, which means my bigger number would need to be positive. So 9, negative 6. And replace your middle. X squared is the same, negative 54. And now replace the middle with 9x and minus 6x. So plus 9x minus 6x. Split it. We've done so many of these. What's my GCF for the first half? Just x, because that's all they have in common. You can divide by 1, but it doesn't do anything. You want to put 1x, you can. And then I have to multiply to x plus 9. My GCF of the second half would have to be negative 6. And if I divide that out, it would be x. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. Negative 6 times 9. Okay. At this point, we know that we're going to get 2 factors, right? We've got these two go together, x minus 6, and then these two. And that's great, except that you had a 2 out in front, right? So your final answer is actually take those and then put them next to the 2. X minus 6 goes next to the 2, and then x plus 9. This is my final answer. You have to have the 2 out in front because you, maybe draw a big arrow so you see it. Because you divided by 2 in the beginning, you do not get full credit unless you have the 2 as a GCF out in front. Okay, so on number 12, we know it can divide by 2, but there's something else. What else do they all have in common? X. Okay, so you would want to do that because if you actually try to factor this as it is right now, you wouldn't be able to do anything. So we know our GCF is 2x. Spoiler, this is one that does have 2 parentheses, so I'll go ahead and do that right away. So at the end, you have to have the 2x and then whatever the rest is. So write that right now so that you don't forget, and then I have to be like minus 1/2. Where'd your GCF go? Okay, if you divide this out, then we're taking one of the x's out. You now have x squared plus 1x minus 2. Sorry, this is showing from the last problem. Okay, find your 2 numbers, please, that multiply to -2 and add to 1. I promise it works. Numbers are 2 and 1. Which one has to be negative? The 2 has to be positive for it to become a positive 1. So 2 and -1. And we're doing the same thing we've done for 3 days. Plus 2x minus 1x, and then I forgot, minus 2 stays at the end. All right. Go ahead and split it, please. And if you can do this part on your own, then obviously go for it. I'll do it on the board. My first half, you can take out an x, which would be, if I take out an x, then I remain with x plus 2. My second half, I would have to do -1 because it's a -1x. And then it's x plus 2. Put your GCFs together. Should be x minus 1. And then your one that is the same as your other one. Please remind yourself, maybe with a big arrow, now that we've actually finished this problem, that the reason, if you take out a GCF, you have to have a GCF out in front when you're done. So on this one here, it says factor x squared plus 8x plus 15. What number is in front of x squared right now? 1. So this is an example of a is 1. You need 2 numbers that multiply to 15 and add to 8. That's an easy one. Yeah, 3 and 5. Those numbers right there, because your a value is 1, you go right to your parentheses. X plus 3, x plus 5. You can only do this if the a value is 1. Please do not do it on any other time. If there's like a 2, a 3, any other number there, you can't do it. So that will make me very sad if you just start using the shortcut on everything. If you're not going to be able to distinguish that, then just do it the long way every time. Okay? Here's one. I'll even like star it. Woohoo! It's a helpful shortcut to know.